Okay, so here we are this week interviewing Club Physio Jemma Stroud. Hi Jemma.
Hiya.
First of all, a little bit about yourself. How old are you?
So I'm 22 years old.
22. Where were you born?
I was born in Whipps Cross in Leytonstone.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. And who do you support?
I'm a Spurs fan. Yeah.
Key was around as well last week.
He is a Spurs fan.
And what is your full-time job?
So my full-time job is I work in a primary school.
Yeah.
So I work for a coaching company, like an external company, and through them I work in two schools. So I work in one in Loughton and then one in Harlow as well. In the Loughton school I coach their PE,
yeah.
And in the Harlow school I just do their after-school sessions, so really? Football orientated really.
Okay. Looking at your background through your LinkedIn account, you obviously was educated at Harlow College and
Yes.
University of Essex.
Yeah.
And what did you do there?
So at Harlow I studied a level 3 extended diploma in sports science, and done really well there. So come out with distinction star, and because I've done well, I then obviously went on to uni, which I went to Essex in Colchester and I studied sports therapy there for 3 years.
And when did you decide you wanted to be a physio?
Oh, so going back to when I was at school in year 10, I had operations on my knee.
Right.
And ever since then, obviously I had to undergo rehab and things like that. So I loved going.
Yeah.
I loved being in that environment. Sounds weird probably, but I did enjoy it. And ever since then, I wanted to help people like they helped me get back. Right. But I wanted to do it sport related, so not in the NHS. So that's why I went into sports therapy and not physiotherapy.
Brilliant. Okay. And talking of sport, I believe you've played football at some level. So tell me about that.
Yeah. So my dad's big into football, where I was into football. So I've always played football as a young age. I played with boys first, and then went into girls teams. So I've played for a couple actually. I played for Harlow Town, a team called Frontiers. Where else? And then I played at uni. Yeah. I played for a few boys.
And what positions did you play? Was it one or various? Or?
So when I was younger, I was always in midfield, centre midfield. Sometimes on the right wing. Yeah. But then when I went to Harlow Town, because I was only under 18s at the time, I wasn't old enough to be playing with the first team. No. I used to train with them. And anyway, the manager asked me to play for a game, one of the games, so I obviously said yes. He put me at left back, and apparently I had a good game.
Have you got a left foot?
No, I haven't got a left foot, but apparently I had a good game. And then my manager at the time said that he liked me in that position, but tried me right back. Yeah. And I stayed right back ever since, and that's the position I played at uni. Oh, yeah.
All right. And then you do some coaching. Or did you? Is that still ongoing?
I still coach. Yeah, so I started coaching at uni. That's where I got my coaching badge. Yeah. And then through uni, I did the futsal sessions. Yeah. So at the time I did my level 1 for football coaching, and I did my level 1 in futsal coaching as well. And then at the uni on Saturdays I used to coach futsal. I think the youngest was like 5, the oldest was 13. So it was only just like a pay and play session, turn up. So I did that, and I also worked in schools as well. Through the uni, I worked in a couple of primary schools doing after school sessions. And through that I just fell in love with coaching. Like I do enjoy it. Yeah. So I applied for a coaching for a team, like a club, and got my under 10 team through that. And they're obviously going to under 11 as
AFC
well.
Leyton, yeah.
Yeah, AFC Leyton.
Right. So which do you prefer? Playing, coaching or physio?
See, they're all different. They are all different. I love the coaching side of things because I like seeing the kids develop. But I love what I do here because I'm with adults. Being with kids all the time, it's nice to then have that time where you come here and I'm with adults and I can have normal conversations. And, so that's nice. I love what I do. I mean, I wouldn't have done it at uni for 3 years if not. So I do enjoy that. But yeah, I do enjoy coaching. I love working. I like working with kids, but I also enjoy here. That's a tough question, that is. Yeah. That's a tough one.
I didn't say it was going to be easy.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
So did you always want to work in football?
Yeah, I've always wanted to work in football. I've known that since I was young. Football's always been my passion.
Okay, so how did the Braintree job come about?
So before Braintree, I was working for Whittam. So I did my work experience at uni with Whittam.
Yeah.
And carried on there. So got a job there, carried on. And someone that I know used to work here or something to do with here, but she moved away back to where she was from. I think she's from Kent or something.
Yeah.
Well, the club told her they need a physio, do you know anyone, whatever, and she got in contact with me. So they then passed on my number to the club, and the club phoned me.
Oh, right.
And spoke to Kiri on the phone.
Yeah.
And organised a day for me to come down. Brought all my certificates and things like that. Met the previous manager, and yeah, and that was that really. Started, I think it was the following week.
And how's it been since you've been here?
Oh, I love it. I love it here.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. I love it how everyone just chips in and does their own little bit. Like everyone helps out.
Right.
I love it here.
Brilliant. Okay. What challenges does it bring?
What challenges does it bring? Oh, okay.
I mean, have you worked in men's football before at this level?
No. So Whittam were obviously a lower level.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but it's like when I first joined here, there was no fans. Obviously, it was during the COVID period or whatever, so there was no fans. The first game of pre-season was the first lot of fans that I've seen.
Right.
So that was not scary, but maybe a little bit daunting in that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know, but the fact that I hadn't had fans and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna have fans. Like it was quite scary. Is not the right word because I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I love the atmosphere. It's great. But yeah, that was challenges isn't the right word, but yeah, that was an experience.
Okay. Have you ever had to go on the pitch for players feigning injury?
Faking an injury?
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And, I mean, we see it a lot, don't we? Top level football. Someone's chops, they go down.
Yeah. Sometimes it's probably just to get a bit of water, sip of water maybe.
Right.
I mean, they've always... So I don't know about faking an injury. They always have had a little knock or something, but nothing they can't carry on with.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say faking, but potentially it is for me just to come on and then get a sip of water, potentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do sometimes just get, well, they do majority of the time get back up and carry on.
Do you think maybe it's worse the higher up the leagues you go than at this level?
Yeah. Yeah, like for instance, if you're looking at, I don't know, say Sunday League, they just get back up and play on with it.
Yeah.
Whereas this level, they can maybe get away with the sitting down on the pitch waiting for the physio to come on.
Yeah.
Then them treating them and then playing on. Whereas on Sunday League, I think it's because Sunday League they don't normally have the physios. Right. If they do, it's a privilege. So they do have. Otherwise, they're gonna be coming off and not playing. So yeah, but whereas with the physio, they can come on, get a quick treatment and play on.
Yeah.
So in that sense, yeah.
So how many injuries do you reckon you could treat during a match? I mean, obviously serious ones, people are going to have to get stretches off and get...
Yeah, so they'd have to obviously... Do you mean for me personally at once on the pitch?
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, during a game, it's not that... You're not really going to get... I mean, you might get multiple different opportunities throughout the game, but at one time in the game, two, I'd treat. I'd go to the worst one, or the worst looking injury first. Yeah. Make sure they're both okay, obviously, but go to the worst looking injury, treat them first, and then make sure the other player's okay as well after. But yeah, so two, and then obviously I've got on home games, I've got medics here, so they could always come on and help me. Okay. Or before the games, I speak to the other physios as well, and sometimes they're on their own as well. Yeah. So we do agree that if I've got more than one and I need help, then they can come on and help me, and likewise I'll do the same for them. So there is always extra help here if I do need it. Yeah.
Now, there's obviously been a lot of advances in sports science. Why does it appear, or just to me anyway, that there are more injuries these days than what there used to be?
Oh, I don't really know the answer to that, if I'm honest. I think a lot of it is back in the day, or however far you want to go back, they just used to get on with it.
Yeah.
Like, it was the whole get up and get on with it.
There was a lot of pre-match injections for players, you know,
Yeah.
in the knees and things like that to get them out on the pitch. The squads were smaller.
Yeah, so they wanted to get, or they had to, they wanted to, they just got up and got on with it.
Yeah.
Unless their leg was falling off, they were carrying on playing. Whereas this, nowadays, there's obviously a lot more research and things like that. So in the sense of getting up and carrying on and playing, it's not ethical in that sense. Like, if they are injured, they shouldn't play on, they should come off, so that they can get back playing quicker, and come back stronger. Like, rehab and things like that should then take place.
And how much is efficacious for the players? Because Glenn was saying that quite often you'll see a player doing something with a certain injury. No, that's the bottom thing to be doing, and you should be doing this. So how much is...
I see that all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And with football players, is they want to play. So if they feel okay, they'll be playing. Whereas, I don't know, say for instance a hamstring, and they've taken a week off, they feel great. They then haven't gone into the strengthening process. They haven't tested it, nothing like that. So if they just go back out there and start sprinting and striking balls, then they could put themselves back a couple of steps and then have to, I don't know, maybe start again, maybe start from scratch. Go from the first rehab phase onwards.
So what are the aims, your personal aims for your career going forward? Where would you like to be? What would your dream job be?
What would my dream job be? So I actually am in my dream jobs.
Right.
So when I was at uni, I always knew, obviously I wanted to be a sports therapist. I knew I wanted to stay in football. Football was my dream job. No matter what I'd be doing in football, as long as I'm in football, I'd be happy. And every job I do is in football, so I can't not be happy, really.
So would you want the Spurs physio job?
No.
No?
No, I wouldn't. No, I am happy with what I'm doing. There are courses that I would like to do.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with what I'm doing right now.
Right.
I've got no thoughts of moving, changing, nothing like that. I enjoy my coaching, I enjoy what I do. I'd like to do courses.
Do you think one of those three things you do might eventually take over and you go down one path?
Potentially, maybe. Right now, no. Right now it's not. But maybe. Yeah. Who knows? Only time will tell.
Yeah. Lastly, how do you feel the team will do this season?
Oh, hope they do well. I think they will. Obviously, we started pre-season early, so we've got in a lot of training. They were in the gyms. I think they will do really well. It's obviously a new team, so they are starting to gel and things like that. But I think we'll do really well. Yeah. Right. I think we will.
And you're part of that?
I hope so.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Jim, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.